Hello, it is SeahawksFan with another Go Battle League video. We got Shadow Dragonite in the lead, and we are using the new Trailblazer Greedent. This season, Greedent no longer just has 2 charge moves, it has been given Trailblaze, a guaranteed attack boosting grass move. And that was a nice big hit onto the Tapu Fini. And with that, all it takes is a shield, and we can farm them down. Very nice. I do change to Crunch after this battle, but Crunch would have been able to get a knockout on this Gengar. And that the heavy hitting Shadow Ball, well, it does pretty much nothing into a normal type. And now we're going to bring in Cobalion to take care of this Ampharos. We're going to hope that they expect the Stone Edge, which they do. And we're going to be a bit more greedy and go for another Sacred Sword. We get some nice damage. Going to be committing no shields. But we are going to be using another Sacred Sword, getting a knockout or their last shield. And we get the last shield. Now Shadow Dragonite just comes in and cleans up. We got a Poliwrath, which is something we got to watch out for. One of the best things to use in Ultra League is Poliwrath, and this team is kind of a bit weak to it. Got to commit the shields to keep the Shadow Dragonite alive in that matchup. And the bulk of an XL Greedent, I could XL this thing more, but I don't have the candies for it. It's a monster. Definitely something I'd recommend if you do want to invest in a very bulky normal type. Shadow Dragonite. This Shadow Dragonite just amazing in all the leagues. I'd recommend Dragonair in Great League if you want efficiency, but Dragonite does pretty good, and it lands that superpower on an unsuspecting Empoleon. Another Poliwrath. And with this team, you're going to see it a lot because you got a grass charge move. You got a Pokemon with a grass charge move that is weak to the counter. You got an actual fair lead in the beginning, although you do have to commit shields to not get Icy Wind KO'd. And counter's going to be doing a lot to the Cobalion. Stone Edge is probably the best move for taking care of the Poliwrath, but, well, at least in the lead, we can just trade shields, and, let's see how this battle goes shieldless now. How does the endgame go? We survive a Trailblaze, but they bring in Giratina. And another reason you want Crunch, but also, it is a Shadow Claw Giratina, which is phenomenal. But unfortunately, I did swap into this Cobalion. Otherwise, I could, if I just sacked the Dragonite, I could be swapping into the normal type. But now I can bring it in, and I can just absorb the energy and have a move shortly ready for the Ampharos. I'm going to try to time my moves okay, but definitely no expert. And they have their own Trailblaze, which is nice to know. No shields remain, of course, so do I survive this brutal swing? Yes, I do, and I get the farm down. I have a Crunch ready for that Giratina, and goodbye, Giratina. You're done. You're done. Dragonite v Shadow Poliwrath. Okay, they're going to be getting taken out a bit sooner. Still going to have to commit 2 shields. Definitely still going to have to commit 2 shields. I definitely suggest you throw the first Dragon Claw before you get debuffed. But let's see what happens. Back-to-back Dragon Claws get both shields. Gonna be forced to commit my last shield, unless I wanted to sack Dragonite, and Dragonite really did not want any, well, none of my backline wanted this Poliwrath. And I just let all the energy go to waste. Bit of a mistake, although there is an Amanda Buzz. Let's go. We got Amanda Buzz. And they're not going to be able to do enough fast move or charge move pressure with anything they have. So I can just stay in, bank that Stone Edge, and catch the Frenzy Plant. And the fast move damage is adding up. It's chunking away at this Venusaur. Although it is going to have to be a Cobalion endgame. The Stone Edge probably is going to be enough for the KO, which is very handy because with the lack of damage this Mandibus can output, I can comfortably stay in and get to this third Stone Edge of the battle. Nice win from the legendary Cobalion. Definitely recommend it if you have the resources. It's a good Pokemon. The Manatan lead. I assumed there was something that would have taken me out, which I think Rock Slide would at least bring me too close for comfort. So Worthy Shield, and let's unleash the Dragon Claws. We have a lot to do up against this tanky legendary. Not going to be able to reach a third Dragon Claw. And they get a Moonblast KO. They reveal a Charizard, which is tricky, being down a shield. But Greedent can't handle. And actually, with that crunch landing, I'm happy to bring in and absorb a lot of energy to go for an audacious farm down. A Sacred Sword does nab a shield, which they should have known. It was nothing to worry about. Get the fast move farm down, and that Cresselia was just too low to continue. They were not ready for that. Smoke from the Greedent, from the Sandy Cheeks SpongeBob character. Now we got a Giratina lead, which is not awful. It is thankfully a Shadow Claw, which actually may be a worse matchup. But now we bring in and catch Dragon Claw onto Greedent. And let's see, they bring in a Empoleon, which we can get a pretty neutral move. We can throw a neutral Trailblaze, being a part Steel type. It's not super effective, but it does grab a shield. We can't get to that crunch, which would have been handy dandy, but let's bring in the double kick user. We survived that drill peck like a charm. Not going to be going for a crazy farm down, so we get a Sacred Sword knockout. We have a Cresselia, and they bring in Giratina. We do have the shield advantage. Does this Cresselia want the smoke? Do they want the smoke? They Grass Knot. Let's go. Get outplayed. And I think they still had a chance, but they didn't want it. Haha. Now we have a Talonflame. Something I'm happy to see this in the lead and not in the back, because when shield's down, this thing can tear through my team. Flame Charge set up on the Cobalion. And it may take a couple flies. I think still take a couple Waybirds, but depending on the attack buffs, amount of attack buffs, who knows. But we traded both shields to have alignment, and we have a couple Dragon Claws ready for this Galvantula, which is something I can be fine with bringing in Greedent. Gonna let them get in a free Volt Switch and throwing the back-to-back moves, but actually they are low enough for me to bring in Cobalion. Nothing they have can get a one-shot. And, of course, they get the attack debuff. So I'm just going to throw a couple Sacred Swords. Yeah, a couple Sacred Swords to get some nice chip before I bring in the Greedent to close this battle out. Okay, a third Sacred Sword. Smart by them to debuff me, but it stalls out this battle. And I stall out the battle so much that they bring in Galvantula back, but well, not enough left in the gas tank for that Umbreon. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hit the like button if you did. Subscribe for more daily Go Battle League videos. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.